Hey, what is going on everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and I wanted to make this video showing you all how you can use the Xbox Softmodding Tool Extras disk without actually burning off a disk. I'm going to show you how to do this on a soft-modded as well as a hard-modded console. And I'm going to show you the two different methods of doing it because, well, you have to launch it two different ways. I'm going to be showing this as well too because there might be people who can't burn a DVD, can't burn a DVD that will properly work on their Xbox. Maybe their Xbox's DVD drive is dying, or maybe you just don't want to burn a DVD for this, all of which are pretty valid reasons to do so on here. So for this, at first, I'm going to be using this Xbox that has just been soft modded with the Rocky 5 Xbox soft modding tool. And of course, I'll show it for hard modded Xboxes as well. So the extras disk is something that's really nice because you can install extra stuff on here pretty easily. It's nice, it's organized. You can really get some more functionality out of your soft mod, but it's also so nice that people on the hard mod side have kind of wanted access to it too. So either way, let's go ahead and get into this. You're going to need a few things. You're going to need your already modified original Xbox, and you'll need to be able to tell if this has been hard modded or soft modded. Now, if it has been soft modded, it must be modded with the Xbox Softmodding Tool, and if it is hard modded, meaning it runs a custom BIOS, you might have a TSOT flash chip, you might have a Modchip installed in there. Typically, when you boot up the system, you're going to see some kind of other logo or other annotation when you boot it up and when the BIOS is showing on screen. If it looks completely stock, like it just has the regular flubber and says Microsoft, that's most likely going to be a soft modded system. With that quickly determined, we're of course still going to need our modded system, but for this method, we're going to be using FTP to transfer files to and from the Xbox, so make sure you can get your Xbox onto a network. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, I've already hooked up my Xbox to my local network, so I'm going to be transferring some files over. We're also going to need a computer for that transfer as well as to download the files that we'll need. First thing that you can do is go to the links in the description. One of them will be for the Xbox Softmodding Tool, and you can come over to the link linking over to pre-built versions. When you're at this page, you're going to want to come to the extras disk, and there's going to be a couple things you need to download. The first thing is going to be the Xbox Softmodding Tool's extrasdisk.iso. Download this somewhere you can easily find it. The next thing is going to be in the extras folder, and you're going to download the extras disk attacher.zip. If you are using a hard modded system, this is going to be omitted for soft mod users, but if you're using a hard modded system, we are going to have to extract this, and there's going to be a little bit of an extra step here. I'm going to be using C Xbox Tool 2.0.7, which I'll have linked down below in the description. I personally like this, but if you want to use any other tool to extract the XISO file, you're more than welcome to do so. I just prefer this, but as long as we get those files extracted, that's what's important. And finally, we're going to need a FTP client. For this, I'm going to be using WinSCP because it's free, works pretty well, and it is easy enough to use on Windows. You can use any FTP client, just use your favorite one as long as it gets the job done. So these are the things we should have. We should have the ISO file, the extras disk attacher, and if you're using a hard modded system, the C Xbox Tool or any other extraction software you're going to be using. First of all, let's cover this for soft modded users. For this, we're going to extract out the extras disk attacher, and you could just extract it right here. It should give us two new folders. One of them is going to be called detacher, and the other one is going to be called Xbox Softmodding Tools Extras Disk. What you want to do is grab the ISO file, cut it out, go into the new folder. This one right here, there's going to be two files in here, default.xbe, and place the extras disk xiso in here. And you just want to obey that by pasting it in here. So it should look a little something like this. Essentially, what this will do is this will allow us on a soft modded system to mount this xiso so we can act like we're running a disk without actually having to burn it. The detacher file is completely optional, and this is essentially something you run where once you're done with the disk, you can run this here and it will detach it virtually because it's like we're mounting the ISO and then we're unmounting it. However, I'm not going to use this here because we could also just do a full reset on the console. So once you're done with the extras disk, as long as you turn the console off and turn it back on, it will detach itself. So I'm personally not going to use the detacher, and I'm going to delete that out. Now, what if you're someone with a hard modded system? Well, for this, we can go ahead and grab the C Xbox tool, right click, and extract it. You should have a new folder for C Xbox Tool 207 and open up C Xbox Tool. The application should look a little something like this, and don't worry, it's pretty simple and easy to use. You want to make sure ISO extraction is selected. You now want to click on add, and now find the ISO that you're looking for. I'll just go over to where I have it saved. So I grab the ISO. Next, you'll want to pick a target folder. Once this has all been selected, press OK. And if you get something like this, you can say yes if you want to do that. We're not going to do auto patching, but you want to click on start and let it do its thing. Now within the extracted folder, you will need to go in here, and this is going to be important. This is only going to be for the hard modded users. You'll need to go into the hard mod folder, and we can either copy or cut out this default.xpe, and this one right here, we're going to be replacing. So we're going to just right click and paste this right here, and we can override it. So that way, when it boots up, it's just going to boot up the hard mod version. If you burn this, you don't have to go through this step here. However, big shout out to Rocky5 for not only assembling this, but also talking with me a bit about it and letting me know that you have to do this step here on a hard modded system, just because this will only work properly if you burn it to a physical DVD or if you virtually mount it like what we're going to do with a soft modded system. So at this point, with everything sorted, let's go ahead and get this all transferred over through FTP. You can open up WinSCP, click on new session, or use whichever favorite FTP client you're going to use. Click on FTP, no encryption, and we're going to need the local IP address for our Xbox. On the Xbox, you'll just have to pull the IP address, and if you're using Unleash X, you can see here in the bottom right-hand corner, it proudly shows the IP address. So right here, you'll have to punch in your IP address over port 21, and typically the username and password is going to be Xbox, all one word, all lowercase, just like that. You can now click Login. And as you can see, we now have our drives populating. So keep in mind for this, we're going to need, I'm rounding up here, about 650 megabytes of free space. So plan accordingly where you're going to transfer this. For a soft modded user, you're going to need to grab the folder that this resides in, so the Xbox Softmodding Tool Extras disk, the one that has the ISO next to the default XBE in here. And for this, I'm actually going to put it on the E drive. So I'm going to go to the E drive. You can use the apps or applications folder, and then just right click and upload this. Now again, this is going to be about 600 megabytes, so just give this a few minutes to transfer over. For a hard modded console, it's going to be the same thing. Remember, this is going to be for the extracted version, and make sure you've pulled the default XBE from the hard mod folder and transferred it into the root folder right here. But for this, again, you can do about the same thing. Go into your E drive, use either apps or applications. I'm going to use applications. And from here, just right click on the extras disk folder and upload this. Once this is done uploading, we can close out of WinSCP and go back over to the Xbox. Now, after you transfer it over, you will probably need to refresh your dashboard, which you can do by just restarting your console. Then what you can do is come over to your applications section. You should find the Xbox Softmodding Tool Extras disk and launch it like any other piece of homebrew. Now, this is how it should look on a soft-modded console. You will see you'll have your disclaimer that you can check out, as well as some lovely applications that you're able to install here, some more dashboards that you can install, as well as an advanced menu where you can check out many more things specific to the Xbox Softmodding tool. All of this will be available, and you can still do the installs. However, there just won't be as many options you might notice on the hard modded version compared to running this on a soft modded console. So now, just for some things that I would like to do, what I'm going to do is come over to dashboards actually and go over to MS dashboards, and I'm going to install the stock MS dash on here. This isn't going to be to replace my Softmod, but this is just going to be able to add all the extra files, and so I can use Insignia on here, which I know a lot of people have wanted to use the extras disk so they can easily install the stock Microsoft dashboard to get up and running on Insignia. I would also recommend installing the audio because why not? So there we go, I've managed to install that, hit OK, I'll go back here, that's all good. I think that's pretty much what I need there. I'll go ahead and check this. Don't need any upgrades or any of this. None of the tools are really needed here. There is a TSOT flasher, which I haven't used yet, but this is available if you'd like to do that. And there's some nice extra applications as well too, just in case you need them. Like if you want to install Chimp for cloning, for example, you can do this. Or if you want to install Config Magic or anything else, you're more than welcome to do so. Now at this point, if you want to exit out of the extras disk, the best way to do this here would really be to simply go over and physically turn off your system and turn it back on. If you have a hard-modded system, it's just going to restart the console. If you have a soft-modded system, that is going to allow the disk to detach, so once the Xbox comes back on, it will be unmounted. So as you can see from here, just from the little basic thing I did, the actual original Xbox icons are now there since they're pulled from the Microsoft dashboard. You should also be able to hear all the background dashboard noises here, and you can go into applications and you can reopen the Xbox dashboard just like before. So here we go, it's looking great, looking real lovely, and of course this is the 5960 dashboard. So in this case, if you have a soft-modded or hard-modded system and you'd like to start getting onto Insignia, well, you have the dashboard to do so here. Anyways, that is about it for this video here. This is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, a like would absolutely be appreciated, and if you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well too.